Come with me on a fall garden tour. Be sure to like and subscribe. So in this bed, I have celery, 3 different varieties. I have Utah, and then I have Golden Boy and Pink Plume. So 3 different types of celery. The mulching does seem to have helped it stay pretty good in the 100-degree heat. And then behind it, I have sage. It's looking a little sad from today, but it's overall doing okay. And then I have some fennel that I put in pots just to see if it will grow in a pot. And then I do have 3 tomatoes, 6 plants of holy basil that are in this around the tomatoes. And this is a little zinnia that came up in my corn patch that I'll show you in a little bit. And then this is rosemary. The box is here because the rosemary was looking really unhappy in the sun today, so I did put that on to give it a little bit of shade, and it does seem to have helped them. But they're just little babies, but they're doing great so far. And then this is more holy basil back here, and it's doing okay. Some of the leaves are kind of crispy. Everything looks really dry in these, and I watered them twice today and they still look bone dry. And then this I don't think is gonna survive. It was a cabbage, and then this was lemon balm that was beautiful, and then it just got so burnt. And these were totally hardened off. They've been out in the sun for quite a while before I planted them, and they've been doing great. And then I planted them, and then we got a random 100-degree day. Not shocking for my area in Northern California, but that's another lemon balm. This is some sweet marjoram, and it's doing all right. I think everything just kind of looks upset because it was so hot today. This is mint. It's pretty hard to kill mint, so it's doing pretty good. This was just a mint mix. And then there's another zinnia from the corn patch that I pulled and transplanted. These are my strawberries. I have been going in and starting to pull all this dead stuff off, but they're actually acting like they want to set more strawberries. I've never grown strawberries, so I don't know if it's normal to have like a fall flush of fruit on a strawberry. That isn't ever bearing, so that could be why. And then here's another zinnia that came from the corn. Again, all the zinnias you see will come from the corn patch that they popped up in, because I had like 10 zinnia plants in that bed where I planted the late planting of corn. And then in this bed, I have all of these around the tomatoes are cinnamon basil, and it is looking really lovely. I love that for tea. And then these are tomatoes. I have 5 different varieties. They're all kind of planted sporadically. There's no tags. More tomatoes. And then right here, these 2 plants are cucumbers. I want to say they're the mojito cucumber. And then that's a lemon basil over there. And then these 2 are cabbages. And then I do have inside the cabbages, I planted a row of carrots, and then a couple hours went by and I started planting cabbages, and I totally did not put a marker or anything, and so those 2 got kind of planted in my carrot area. So we'll see what actually comes up there for carrots. And there's another tomato in this bed, another cucumber, and then over there is oregano that's looking beautiful. And then back over there, there's some cauliflower, and I'm interested to see how the spinach fared, because I covered it up with this lid because it was looking really unhappy in the heat today as well. And it is looking pretty okay, considering I do see some ants, and this one got a little burnt as well, but overall it's looking all right. Here's a thyme plant. I'm really trying to grow like all my own herbs for like my stuffing for the fall. That's why you see like thyme, oregano, and sage over in the other bed. I really want to grow my own herbs. And so I have them tucked in everywhere. In this bed, I have cauliflower all down in a row, and then down there's some more cauliflower kind of bunched together. And then here's some more cucumbers. These 2 cucumbers are the Bait Alpha cucumbers. These 6 pepper plants, there's 2 in front of each bed. Those have been growing since like May. So they're still putting on fruit. I did just fertilize them, so you can kind of see they are uptaking the fertilizer, because they were all this color leaves. And then now they're kind of all turning that color. So hopefully we'll get some more peppers, because those have just produced super prolifically. And then here's my red Russian kale, and then some blue curled Scotch kale. That's looking pretty lovely. And this is actually doing really well despite the heat. It's actually like doubled in size since I planted it. I just planted this garden out maybe about a week or so ago, maybe 10 days ago. Then in this bed I have fennel, and then in this bed the squirrels have struck again, and they ate my purple red rock cabbages down to nubs. So I'm still watering it in hopes that they will survive and push out more leaves, but it'll probably just end up being more of a snack for the squirrels. And then in this bed I have 2 plants of thyme, and then all of these babies are coming up. This is cilantro. So I planted 10 packets of cilantro in here for spring/summer gardening, and let it just get big and all go to seed. And then I shook a lot of it into here, and then I just, used a lot of it and then cut it down. And it's been pretty good amount coming up. I do notice a lot of roly-polies in here, so we'll see how that goes. But so far so good. These are squash. They're getting eaten too. Now that I'm looking closely. So I don't know that I will get squash. So the squash this year has been a bust, which is unfortunate, because usually I have really good luck with squash. So that's a bummer. And then here's some more fennel. I love fennel seeds, like ground up and put into like sausage, like ground pork. But I'm really interested in growing the bulb to like add to maybe my stuffing for Thanksgiving. Everything out here is mostly brassicas, and I did a little short where I showed how this was at the end of summer, and then a little flash to what it looks like now, because I had to build up all of these little mounds again to plant the brassicas in. And then these are red rock cabbages, and then this whole row was tomatillos in the summer. And if you look back at my summer garden tours, and now in its place I planted chamomile, which I actually realized that they like cooler temperatures. Chamomile does, supposedly. And right now we're in like the 90s, so we'll see how that does eventually. And then these are golden acre cabbages. I have 9 right here, and they're looking lovely, I think. I mean, I've never grown a cabbage, but they just look lovely. Over there, that little cabbage has been attacked by the squirrels as well, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, these are all cabbages out here. Really excited to see if those come to fruition. And then this is all blue curled Scotch kale and sweet Thai basil tucked in between. The theory was plant a smelly like herb in between the kale in hopes that the pests will stay away. So we'll see how that goes. And then right here I have 9 tomato plants, and right here I have 12 cauliflower plants that I just made rows, put some soil in, and then planted. So 12 cauliflower plants. And then back in the back over there, kind of hard to tell with the leaves, but they're there, I have 4 Brussels sprout plants. And that's pretty much the garden area out here that is for the fall garden stuff. And now I'll show you the corn that I planted late, and it is so beautiful. So be prepared. I mean, it's so beautiful. I love it in this bed. This is where I had zinnias and onions for spring and summer, and it is just so beautiful. If it comes to fruition, which I hope that it does, and we don't get some early frost, we will have corn by like the first week of November. So I'll be able to potentially freeze some to use for holiday cooking because we love corn. And so hopefully, but this so far has been my favorite thing to grow for the fall so far, would be the corn. And then I have a couple little zinnias, and then I'll show you the zinnias over here that I transplanted from over there when I planted the corn. And oh my gosh, I've overflown the water in this. Okay. Whoops. Got a little full of water. That's okay. I'm trying to multitask. And then I took some plants for my mother-in-law to give to her. So oregano, holy basil, and some lemon balm. That's a little rose, a little tea rose. And then, yeah, these are all zinnia plants that I planted here. And they're already getting little blossoms on them. Thanks for coming along with me, and until next time, take care.